Welcome to Daily Truths with Dave Ahlman.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're so glad you're joining us today. I have a question for you that I think is very relevant. What do you do when people mislead you? It seems to happen in our culture all the time, both as individuals. All you have to do is watch the political commercials today, and you know that this is a relevant question. What do you do when people mislead you? Now, we go back to our text. We're in the book of Matthew, chapter 2. And remember, the wise men were led by a star from the east. They followed the star. They came to Jerusalem. They asked Herod, where is he to be born king of the Jews? He asked the scribes and Pharisees and Sadducees, where is he to be born king of the Jews? They tell him in Bethlehem. And then we pick up this verse where Herod says these words. Listen to this. This is chapter 2, verses 7 and 8. Okay, when Herod summoned the wise men secretly and ascertained from them what time the star had appeared, and then he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, go and search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring me word, that I too may come and worship him. So why did he do this? Why did Herod say this? Well, first of all, he wanted to know the exact time the star appeared. And so when it appeared, he thought, okay, that's when the baby was born. And maybe it was up to 2 years that they had traveled, followed the star, and gotten all the way to Jerusalem. And so then he, of course, misled them by saying, and when you find him, make sure you come and tell me. So can't you imagine how these wise men were making their way to Bethlehem, just 5 miles away, and they were talking about Herod. Wow, what a cool dude. We thought he'd kind of be jealous, but boy, he wants to worship this king too, this king of the Jews. Wow, we misunderstood him. We really didn't perceive him to be this kind of guy. And so, wow, what a good guy. No, they were being totally misled. And as you know, if you know the scriptures, you know what Herod's intention was. He wanted to kill Jesus. And as a matter of fact, when he found out that the star had been traveling for many months, maybe up to 2 years, he killed every child 2 years old and under in the town of Bethlehem. Totally misleading. So here's the question for you. What do you do when someone misleads you? How do you respond? How do you react? What do you do? Well, number one, you have to ask yourself, why are they doing this? And it might be to save face, or it might be to get what they want. That's one of the reasons, 2 of the reasons why people oftentimes mislead others. They're trying to save face, they don't want to be embarrassed, or they're trying to mislead so that they can get what they want. Number 2, ask yourself, is this person a believer? And if they are, that's unfortunate. But if they're not, well, you pretty much know who's calling the shots. Their sinful flesh or Satan himself. And it helps then to understand why they're doing what they're doing, why they're saying what they're saying, and why they're misleading you. We'll get to the other point about what if they're believers. What do you do then? We'll deal with that here in just a minute. Thirdly, you lovingly confront them. Okay? We live in a day and age where people don't like to confront misleading statements or misleading people. They just want to let it go. No, I don't think we should do that. I think we should lovingly confront the person that misled us, especially if they're believers, right? We say, hey, well, what are you doing? Now, if they're not believers, then again, we know who's leading them. We know that Satan or their sinful flesh is leading them, and that helps us understand where they're coming from a little bit more readily. But I think we ought to lovingly confront anybody and any time we are misled by other folks or other statements, if possible to do that. And finally, number 4, and this is the tough one, we forgive them for what they've done. Now, you might be saying, wait a minute, Pastor Dave, I really can't do that. That's so difficult to do. I like to think about what Jesus has done for me, that the whole debt of my sin was completely paid through the finished work of Jesus. And when I understand the whole debt of my sin has been completely paid by Jesus, and God lets me off scot-free, he doesn't hold my sin against me, then it's so much easier for me to turn around and forgive those who have misled me by what they did or said or by misleading statements. So the bottom line is the gospel empowers us to forgive other people from the heart. So that is what we do. Remember how Herod was so misleading with these folks, so misleading, telling them, oh, go and worship him so that I can worship him too. No. Totally misleading. And now you understand what to do when people mislead you. Understand why they did it. Number two, try to remember if they're a Christian or not. And if they're not, then you know exactly where they're coming from. Number three, confront the situation. Number four, forgive from the heart. And that is today's Daily Truth. Have a great day in Jesus Christ.
Thank you for listening to Daily Truths with Dave Ahlman. Please like and subscribe, and if led, donate to this ministry. It is greatly appreciated.